Here we have another example of a Karnaugh map. We're going to simplify this Boolean expression using a Karnaugh map, and I have already drawn the Karnaugh map. May I remind you that when you draw the Karnaugh map, it is very important that you write these in this order: 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, and 1, 0. The reason being that it is important that between one column and another, there is one bit which is common and one bit which is changing. Now I am going to fill in this Karnaugh map. So we have x, y, z, so x, y, z. Then we have x naught, y naught, z, so x naught, y naught, z. Then we have x naught, y, z, so x naught, y, z. And we have x, y naught, z. We fill in the empty cells with zeros, and now we can group this Karnaugh map. In this case, we can group a group of 4 ones here, and if we check which inputs are common, x is obviously not common. If we check here, we have z, which is common on both columns. Therefore, the simplified version of this Karnaugh map is f equals z. Now I'm going to do another example of a Karnaugh map. This time we have this Boolean expression. The Karnaugh map is done already, so we just have to fill in the Karnaugh map. So we have x naught, y naught, z naught, x, y naught, z naught, x naught, y, z naught, and x, y, z naught. Obviously, we fill the others with 0. And now here we have a particular case of a Karnaugh map where we have both edges of the Karnaugh map table filled with 0. Now, it is good to note that we have to imagine that these two edges are also next to each other. So imagine that a Karnaugh map is like a sphere. In fact, here we have y, which is not common, but z, in this case z naught and z naught, is common. Therefore, there is a common input. If we have to explain this more graphically, we have in this Karnaugh map, we have this situation. Imagine that these two edges are attached to each other like this. Therefore, we can say that these are giving us one group of 4. So we can group this Karnaugh map like that in one group. There is common, obviously, z naught. Therefore, the final answer for this will be f equals z naught. Now, you might ask, what will happen if instead of choosing one group of 4, you will choose 2 separate groups with 2 terms? It won't be wrong, but it will not be the most simplified. In fact, if we have to write down here, what this will give us f equals y naught z naught, and this will give us or y z naught. And if you remember what we were doing in previous videos, using Boolean algebra, we can simplify this by putting z naught as common outside the bracket into y naught or y, obviously using the distributive law. Then y naught and y naught will give us a 1 using tautology, and then using tautology z naught and 1 will give us z naught. And as you can see, this answer is identical to this one. The thing is that we have obtained this simplified, fully simplified immediately using the Karnaugh map, while we have obtained this fully simplified after we have worked out and used Boolean algebra. And when we use the Karnaugh maps, preferably we should always come up with the most simplified answer as we have here.